Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I might get a little emotional while making this video because after months of reporting on stimulus, I think that we can be a little optimistic right now, but it's not done till it's done. On your screen, you'll see an article from the Washington Post which suggests more Senate Republicans signal openness to the $908 billion relief package as the pandemic spike worsens. A growing number of Democrats and Republicans saying that they now support negotiations aimed at delivering more stimulus aid, hopefully using the $908 billion stimulus framework that was proposed by a bipartisan group of senators in the past 48 hours. In fact, in the past hour, many influential lawmakers and important lawmakers revealed that they had been working together for a long time, right through Thanksgiving, to try and put together a package for us. I watched this press briefing, if you will, and I decided it would be a good idea to show our viewers and subscribers that even though it's very clear that government has let us down, let me be clear, I do believe government has let us down. I think that we can hopefully have some hope, because listen, guys, I do this channel. I've talked about myself. I live the American dream, but I know that for my viewers and subscribers, it's about putting food on the table. It's about paying rent. It's about keeping the lights on. I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to be homeless. And, if you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You learn about my own personal journey. But let's take a look at what Tom Reed said. And Tom Reed is a Republican representative from New York. I'm actually going to highlight comments from Tom Reed, from Josh Gottheimer, who's a Democrat from New Jersey, and from Abigail Spanberger, who's a Democrat from Virginia. I think some of Spanberger's comments were, and Tom Reed said that there has been substantial progress. The two sides are gaining momentum and both sides support the $908 billion package. Before I show you these segments, I want you to know that I want there to be help for those who need it the most. I find it very difficult to come to terms personally with the fact that my fellow Americans are struggling for food, and we should not be in this situation because this entire crisis was not our fault. At this point, I am cautiously optimistic, but I will tell you that some of Tom Reed's comments now suggest, I believe that the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is likely at some point to come closer and closer to the $908 billion bill. Because when you look at the writing on the wall, we know that the Democrats have come down to that $908 billion framework. And there are a lot of people that are sort of gathering around that point. And I do believe that the Senate Majority Leader is likely to budge and come closer. We'll find out. We may find out by the time I release this video. I do believe that hopefully the Senate Majority Leader and the President will get behind this and we can get this done because this is necessary for the American people. Let's take a look at what Tom Reed said. Again, talking about substantial progress, gaining momentum, and the fact that senators and lawmakers from both sides, Democrats and Republicans, support the $908 billion package. Let's watch.
$908 billion COVID relief package that we are here today to discuss again, to say that we've made substantial progress even from the last two days from where we were at. We are gaining momentum as we speak. We had Senator John Thune, Shelley Moore Capito, and Kevin Cramer all came out here recently on the Republican side in the Senate speaking favorably of the $908 billion package. I know on the Democratic side, we had Speaker Pelosi and Leader Schumer offer positive comments about the $908 billion package. We are moving in the right direction. I had extensive conversations last night with Cory Gardner. This is becoming one of his top priorities in the Senate as he leaves the Senate to make sure that this gets done before he leaves. So I encourage you to reach out to Cory Gardner himself and to ask him his thoughts as he works with leadership in the Senate to push this to the finish line to get signed into law and get the American people and the American businesses the relief that they need that's represented by this $908 billion that we're talking about. Now, as we go forward, I got to tell you, this wouldn't have happened without the leadership of the folks here in the Problem Solvers Caucus. So I want to thank my co-chair, Josh Gottheimer, but most importantly, I want to thank each and every one of these members that came together and we were able to support this package because of the work and the relationship and the trusting relationship that this group has formed over the last years, working together and putting the American people first, not shedding the fact that we are proud Republicans, that we are proud Democrats, but at the end of the day, we know who we work for. And those are the people back home. the people that we are listening to, that we care deeply about. And I got to tell you, the leadership team that helped put this together, people like Dusty Johnson, Anthony Gonzalez, Fred Upton on the Republican side, Abigail Spanberger, Dean Phillips, and my good friend Josh Gottheimer on the Democratic side. I just got to tell you, it was hours upon hours of working together, listening to each other, and coming up with that sweet spot and common ground that's represented with this package. And so without further ado, I want to give my co-chair, Josh Gottheimer, the opportunity to say a few words. Josh.
Thanks, Tom.
In the second segment, the co-chair of the Problem Solvers Caucus, which by the way gets a lot of credit. Keep in mind the Problem Solvers Caucus actually put together a framework for a $1.6 trillion, $1.5 trillion proposal before the election, which the White House supported. And at that time, they weren't really taken very seriously by the Democratic leadership. But now they've come back and now they're proposing something along with many other influential senators who finally got behind them. So I believe the co-chairs of the Problem Solvers Caucus, Tom Reed, who you already saw, and Josh Gottheimer, who's a Democrat from New Jersey, do deserve a lot of credit. But there are now more and more influential senators getting involved, more and more influential lawmakers. What Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey, said was, let's get this done for the American people. We will not leave Washington until this is done, and let's put the country first. It shouldn't be about being red or blue. And by the way, I don't know if Josh Gottheimer watches Ignition Time, but I've said this before on our channel. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. Hey, I'd love to interview Gottheimer or some of these Problem Solvers Caucus co-chairs. I'll probably reach out to them and talk to them. But first, let's focus on the necessary help for the American people and what Gottheimer said. Let's roll the tape.
First, I just want to thank you so much, Tom, for your excellent leadership. And I just want to echo Tom's words. Every single member behind me was part of making this happen. And our Tiger team, the excellent leadership, as was mentioned, of Dean and Dusty and Anthony and Abigail and Fred. I mean, we're talking around the clock, working with our Senate colleagues for weeks, including on Thanksgiving Day, because that's how important it is to actually not just stand here, but now to get this across the finish line. And that's what we're all focused on. It's why we're working with our Senate colleagues, Republican and Democrat, and with leaderships, really just saying to them, this is our moment to get this done for the American people. We simply cannot afford to wait. And the support has been overwhelming. You've seen everyone from the Chamber to the Retail Federation to the airlines, obviously scores of groups who care about feeding families, because that's a key part of this, and making sure we get state and local aid to our struggling communities and unemployment to our families who are hurting as we go into the holiday season here, and COVID spiking 200,000 cases a day. We know the reason why this is critical. We will not leave Washington until we get this done. That's our position. We're not going anywhere. So we're going to keep sitting down with our leadership and making it clear to them, we've got to make this happen. The momentum is building, as Tom said. And again, not just one side of the aisle, from both sides of the aisle. Our whole belief in the Problem Solvers Caucus is putting country first. Not Democrat or Republican first, but the United States of America. It's why we're here. And then we work together every single week, the 50 of us, 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans, to actually get things done. And that's, I know every one of my colleagues you're going to hear from, that's why they're here. And that's how this plan came together. Now we're still working. We're in the drafting phases right now of the legislation. That's what's going on. We had calls again this morning with our Senate colleagues, sitting down with them to make it happen. It's going to happen around the clock for the next days until we get a bill out there. It will get passed because we're going to fight every single day to make sure it happens. So I can't thank my colleagues enough. I can't thank my co-chair enough in this team, because this is what the model of governing should be about, working together for the country we represent. So now I'm going to turn it over to Abigail Spanberger, who's whip of the Problem Solvers Caucus and has done a phenomenal job over the last weeks helping pull this together. Abigail?
And in the final segment, let's take a look at comments from Abigail Spanberger, Democrat from Virginia. I got to tell you, her comments really struck a nerve with me, and I've never, I moved to this country in 2002, and I never thought that I'd see a time when many fellow Americans, millions of our fellow Americans, would go hungry through no fault of their own. It's hard for me to even talk about it, but I think Spanberger did a much better job than I can ever do. She said Congress damn well better come together to deliver necessary relief. It should have been done yesterday. And she said that Congress did do well at the start of the year with the CARES Act, but recently they failed. They have failed the American people. This should have been done by now. Let's take a look at comments from Abigail Spanberger from Virginia.
Thank you very much to my colleagues here. Thank you to our colleagues on the Senate side. As Josh Gottheimer noted, we spoke every single day, including on Thanksgiving Day. Though I did miss the Thanksgiving Day call because I was volunteering at an event in Central Virginia called the Giving Heart. It's an event where hundreds of volunteers come together year after year to deliver a wonderful Thanksgiving meal to families in need, to deliver resources, flu shots, donations to people who desperately need that support. And if hundreds upon hundreds of volunteers can come together in time of crisis to keep that tradition alive, to feed so many more hungry families across Central Virginia, then Congress damn well better come together and deliver the relief that is so necessary. Frankly, relief that was necessary weeks and months ago. But today is just as good a day as any to actually see it through. Those of us who are here today represent millions of Americans. And among those Americans, there are hungry families, parents without jobs, and thousands of small business owners who are on the verge of closing down everything they have worked to create and lay off the employees who depend on them. They're staring down a holiday season marked by tremendous uncertainty, and they're staring down the expiration of critical assistance programs. Congress cannot leave them behind. We must act. Our proposal is negotiated to provide them with the relief that they need and deserve. Our proposal is focused on the families, the children, the students, the public servants, and small business owners like restaurant owners throughout the communities we represent. They are at the center of this proposal. And while there will be additional necessary steps that we will take in the future, that we will debate and work hard to get across the finish line in the future, this package represents an opportunity to recognize the threat posed by the winter surge that we face now. In Virginia, we're seeing the increasingly dire effects of this surge. COVID-19 positivity in Virginia is now at 8.3%. It was at 5% just a few weeks ago. And just yesterday, the Commonwealth of Virginia reported the highest numbers of hospitalizations since the pandemic began. Nearly 15,000 Virginians have been hospitalized during this crisis. And yet, in the 7th District, we continue to see heartbreaking challenges facing our community members, including another devastating outbreak at one of our long-term care facilities. We are in an emergency, and while Congress acted swiftly earlier in the year to deliver negotiated relief, it has failed in the months since to continue to provide relief to American families, American workers, and American small business owners in this continued moment of desperate need. The day for a relief proposal was, in fact, yesterday. And yesterday was the day before that and the day before that. But we have to act. We have to act. And as Republicans and as Democrats and as House members and our colleagues on the Senate, we have now seen people coming together, voicing their support for our proposal, and we have a clear opportunity to act, to finally act, and to deliver the much-needed relief that so many across our communities, the millions who we represent, deserve and need right now.
That's it, everybody. Let me know what you think. I do believe that the writing is on the wall. I do believe this is the start of the end of this phase of stimulus negotiations. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if the pieces fall into place very quickly, and maybe more stimulus next year, because I personally believe the economy does need more stimulus. But let's wait and see what happens, because the pieces are now gradually falling into place. And in brand new information, it was just announced by Tom Reed at the Problem Solvers Caucus that the president is in support of the $908 billion stimulus package. So the chips are now falling into place. I believe that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is likely to fall into place as well. We are looking at potentially the passage of a $908 billion stimulus package as we speak right now. I'll keep you posted as things evolve.
It's been brought to my attention that the president just issued a statement saying he is in support of our $900+ billion package. So we are now...
Come on.
Well, Lindsay, we're gonna declare a moment of optimism here in front of the Capitol. But the bottom line is, with that support, that there's recognition that this is a package that needs to get signed into law, that the American people need this relief, and that these members are standing together as Democrats and as Republicans, but as we opened up with, as proud Americans. It is time for this institution to do its job. And as we said, we are not leaving until that signature is on this package and that relief is flowing. And it's because of the members that are standing here.
And just one more note for our viewers and subscribers. You saw yourself that the Problem Solvers Caucus, Tom Reed, said that the president was on board with their $908 billion stimulus package. He effectively announced it to us today. But here's a tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein from the Washington Post, who reports that in his remarks today, President Trump was backing the much narrower McConnell stimulus plan, not the $908 billion bipartisan compromise measure from many Republican and Democrat lawmakers, per a White House spokesperson. Now, this is not the first time we've received conflicting information from the White House, but I think we are slowly getting to a point where there should be some sort of a consensus, but I did want to give our viewers all the information, even if it's conflicting, that's emerging from the White House at the time I'm recording this video. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe and please enable notifications. The name of our channel is Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I have to tell you, I have the honor, the privilege, the fortune of living the American dream. I want to be very clear on our channel. It's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American first, as we all are. Remember, you can get on our SMS list. Just get your cell phone out. Send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list. You'll get breaking news and alerts if we release any programs, and if you're interested in those programs, you'll be notified if you're on the list. Also, you can get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can get added to our email list. You can opt out of the email list or the SMS list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. So please make sure you get on either list. Now, keep in mind that we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. Sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. This way, you can visit the home page of our channel and you can then watch any video at any point in time that you want without having to be dependent on YouTube notifications. So you may want to do that. Speaking of notifications, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Follow us on Instagram for exclusive content specifically for our Instagram followers. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. If you learned something new from this video, once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications, because that would mean a lot to us. That is your vote of confidence in us, and that tells the YouTube algorithm that you found the video beneficial. Please share this video with friends and family. You know that we don't believe in hype. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is not about false hope. It's not about hype. I have a lot of respect for our viewers and subscribers. I know you can handle the truth. I give you the truth. I'm not going to string you along or essentially give you any false hope. I'm going to let you know what is important as far as the country is concerned, as far as the economy is concerned, and as far as your money is concerned, because what's going on in the country affects the economy, and what's going on in the economy affects your personal finances, your wallet. So make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And finally, please comment below. Our community is growing. It's very intelligent. It's very bipartisan. You'll probably make some new friends in the community. We are highly respectful. Make sure to become a part of our community. And also, you'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. That's one thing that is a standard in our channel. We'll always provide you with a link to all our resources so you can check them out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.